Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. I just wanted to hop on here and say hi. This is actually not the video I had planned for this week, and that is because I am sitting here in quarantine. Like a lot of other people here in Germany right now, my family and I have been hit with corona. And that feels really weird to say because, well, obviously for the last 2.5 years, this has been the dreaded virus that has turned the world upside down, and now we have it. And to be honest, it's not that bad. I'm not feeling great though, but it could be a lot worse. So I'm pretty sure it is the Omicron variant, but who knows? I am definitely presenting some of the symptoms that are associated with Omicron. I basically just wanted to make this video just to say I am still around. I know I haven't been very active on social media, on Instagram, on YouTube, but I just haven't been feeling up to filming my regular videos, but I thought why not just sit down and have a little chat with you all. And I also just wanted to share with you some of my symptoms so you kind of know what to look out for. So right now myself, Rob and the kids are all in quarantine, but only myself and Rob are testing positive. All of the kids are negative. Actually, we haven't tested Luca, but Amelia and Matteo are negative as of this morning. Rob has had a positive PCR test and I've only had a positive rapid test, but I'm getting a PCR test today and I am almost 100% sure that that will come back positive too. So it all started on Friday. It is Wednesday afternoon today. So Rob came home from work. He comes home at around 12 o'clock every Friday and he was feeling exhausted, like really tired. He was just kind of lying around home and just saying, I'm so tired, I don't know why. And then he was like, okay, I'm just gonna go have a little power nap and I'm sure I'll be fine soon. And then I remember getting a text message from a lady on our street who has 2 children who go to school with Amelia. She just said, my son has tested positive for corona. It's important that I let you know because he mentioned that he was sitting yesterday with Amelia on the bus, on the school bus, and they were wearing masks, but I just wanted to let you know. And so I was messaging back and forth with this lady, and over the day she was saying that her daughter was also having symptoms and that her and her husband were also having symptoms. And then later on that evening, Rob decided to take just a rapid test because he was still feeling a little bit off, and it came back positive. He wasn't actually surprised because there were quite a few guys at his work who were in quarantine, and that's probably where he caught it, but who knows, it's everywhere at the moment. And so at that time, I was also starting to feel a little bit just off. I just wasn't feeling well. I was very exhausted, and I thought I probably have it too. So I took a test that was negative. The kids also took a rapid test and they came back negative. So we were like, okay, what do we do? I think Rob has to go in the other room. So he moved himself into our spare room. It was really awkward because Rob was the only one testing positive at that point. And, you know, we all live in the same house and he has to quarantine. So he went into the spare room and we're like, okay, what do? We just can't have contact with you, or do you have to stay in this room? I don't know. So he just didn't want to risk infecting us as well. So he went into the spare room and set up a bed there and spent the rest of the evening just hanging out in there, which was probably quite nice for him because he was only tired. He didn't have any other symptoms really. And he was just watching movies and all sorts of things on his phone. And I put the kids to bed and I was so tired. I was just exhausted. The only way I could explain it would be if you've ever been pregnant in the first trimester, it's this overwhelming exhaustion that you can only know what I'm talking about if you have been pregnant. You're just exhausted to the bone. Or maybe if you're low in iron, that tiredness where even walking up the steps just seems like a huge task. And I was thinking, okay, I think I'm coming down with it too. I don't know. So anyway, the kids went to bed and I started to get a scratchy throat. Like it was really scratchy. And then later that night, it turned into like this full-blown sore throat. And I had a booming, thumping headache. And Rob also came down with a headache. So I was thinking, am I making this up? My test is negative, but I'm feeling all these symptoms. So anyway, the next day, we all woke up. I was feeling absolutely terrible. My head was thumping. I was just not feeling well. It was just sort of flu-y sort of symptoms. but mostly it was just the exhaustion. Absolutely exhausted. You know, Rob couldn't really leave the room, and if he did leave the room, we couldn't go near him. It was really awkward because the kids were wanting to hang out with him. Luca was like holding up his arms to Rob, and Rob couldn't touch him, and it was really hard. Excuse me, I'm very blocked up. So anyway, Saturday morning, myself and the kids tested again, and our test came back negative. Clearly, I had corona symptoms, and the kids started to not feel so well either. Amelia was complaining of a headache, she started coughing, and Matteo was also coughing. They weren't super sick or anything, but they definitely had some symptoms. And I started coughing, and Rob wasn't coughing, I don't think. Also, I forgot to mention that Rob has been boosted, and I am due to be boosted in like a week, so I think probably the reason why Rob's symptoms were very, very mild is because he's fully vaccinated and boosted. Rob did leave the house briefly to get his PCR test, which came back positive. So it was official, he had corona. Amelia actually was invited to a birthday party that day, and I had to message the family to say that she couldn't come because we have been hit by corona and that we're all in quarantine. And the mother of the little girl texted back to say, well, actually we have also been hit by corona, so we're in quarantine, so we're gonna have to make the birthday party another day. So there were 3 families on my street with corona. So who knows where it came from? It could have come from anywhere. So anyway, we struggled through Saturday. My in-laws came and dropped off a few things to us. We made an order, like an online grocery order. And yeah, we were just in quarantine, just hanging out at home. On Saturday night, I was getting some pretty strong flu-y symptoms. And I thought, okay, I'm going to take another test, even though I took one in the morning. I need to take another test. I need to know whether I have corona or whether this is all in my head. So I did take a test, and it came back with 2 strong lines. So I was like, okay, this is good, because I think it's better if we all get corona together and quarantine together instead of dragging it all out. I'd rather that than having Rob test negative and then I test positive, and you know, and then the kids later test positive, and you know, it's better to get it all out of the way. Not that I wanted us to have corona, but you know what I mean, it's better for us all to have it at the same time than drag it out. So yeah, I was positive, and the kids were in bed, so I thought in the morning they can test again. In the morning they tested again, still negative. Clearly they were showing signs of corona, but it was coming back as negative. So basically you cannot rely on the rapid tests. Obviously if you do have corona and it is sort of a few days in, it will show up as positive, but you can have symptoms and be contagious before you have a positive test. So just because your rapid test is coming up as negative, it doesn't mean that you don't have corona, which I wasn't aware of. So I don't think it's a safe way to say that you're clear of corona. So my symptoms, my main one was just feeling absolutely, utterly exhausted to the bone. That's the only way I could describe it. Also another one, sore throat, very, very scratchy sore throat, a cough, just a very sort of dry cough, which has actually gone a little bit to my chest now. I didn't have a fever, none of us have had a fever, but I know that's definitely a symptom. What else? I'm just feeling very full, like heavy in my head, as you can probably hear. Just my whole face feels like just full. And also I have this kind of like a drip feeling in the back of my nose. It just feels like drip, drip, drip. It's the weirdest feeling. And I just have a very runny nose. I'm constantly blowing my nose. It's either runny or blocked. It's kind of like one nostril will be blocked and then the other one isn't, and then it'll swap over, if that makes sense. Or then I'm just completely blocked up, or I'm just constantly blowing my nose. It's really weird. Another symptom, yeah, super sore throat. Oh my goodness. I have completely lost my sense of taste and smell. I cannot taste a single thing. I can taste whether it is salty or sweet or sour, but I can't taste the actual flavour of anything, and I cannot smell anything at all. Rob has not lost his sense of taste and smell. I am hoping that this won't last, the symptom, because my mother-in-law had corona last year and she still hasn't regained her spell. The weirdest symptom for me is brain fog. I'm actually struggling to get through this video, to be honest. That's why there's probably so many cuts, because I can't keep my train of thought. When I'm sending a text message to somebody or writing an email or something, it takes me 3 times as long as it normally would, because I just can't stay focused. And I don't know whether this is like a symptom. I don't know whether it's just because I'm, you know, I've got a headache and I'm feeling not well, whether that's why I've got this brain fog, or whether it's something to do with just an actual corona symptom. I'm gonna have to Google that and see. The only way I could describe it is just having this brain fog where I just can't gather my thoughts together. And what else? What are the other symptoms? I've also had a little bit of an aching lower back, which I don't know whether that's a symptom. Maybe it is. And the kids are just very, very tired. And the eyes look really glazy, kind of, I don't know, a little bit bloodshot. And they are both coughing a little bit, but the kids have very, very mild symptoms. They're not vaccinated. I actually have put them on the waiting list to be vaccinated, but it's too late. But their symptoms are very, very mild. But their tests are still coming back as negative. So officially they don't have corona, but they have all the same symptoms, basically the same symptoms as I am having, and I'm positive, so I'm sure they have it. So we will test again tomorrow morning and see if they come back positive. Either way, we're all in quarantine. We are just hanging out at home. It's good now that Rob and I are both positive, only because he doesn't have to hide away in the room. We're just, I don't know, we're not like sharing cups or anything with the kids. We're trying not to be too close to them, but it's very, very hard to not be, especially with Luca. I'm breastfeeding him, so he's very, very restless at night. He's not sleeping very well, but apart from that, he's actually fine. I'm not feeling fantastic, but it's not terrible, and I do not think corona, well, at least this variant, is anything to be scared of. If you're vaccinated, it's just like any other sort of flu. It's absolutely nothing compared to when I had bronchitis, I think it was last year, which later turned into pneumonia. But anyway, yeah, it's nothing to be really scared of, at least if you are in relatively good health and you're not in the high risk category. Be very, very cautious with the rapid tests, because it's clear that my kids have corona, but they're not showing positive yet, and it's clear that I already had contracted corona before my test was positive, so you can't really rely on those tests. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to touch base and let you know that I am fine. I am hopefully going to be up and running again with YouTube, but if you don't see a video for a while, you'll know why. So anyway, guys, that's about it. If you're also in quarantine, then I'm here right with you. It's going to be okay. We will get through this. Lots of love to you all, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.